Humans are smart. In fact, we are so smart that survival is no longer a problem for us. If you want food, we can just go to a shop and buy it. If you want entertainment, we just open up the TV. If you want shelter, we have our own houses, home. Unlike animals, our lives are made so easy that we don't need to risk our lives for survival. And when we don't need to think about how am I going to survive, we have the luxury to think about why am I even surviving in the first place. Okay, so I have no problem living now, but where am I even living? For what? Maybe I want to be successful. But what counts as being successful? Is material wealth successful? Or are you talking about personal achievement? Then why is material wealth so important to you? Then why is so good about a personal achievement, or heck, what is even count as a personal achievement? Well man, welcome to philosophy, where you ask questions and might not even get an answer. Now philosophy actually is just the study of knowledge of any kind. Well, that's what it used to mean in ancient Greece anyway. Now we separate philosophy into its own thing. You see, science is more of an empirical study, and we're talking about numbers, statistics, and more about objective and observable truths. Meanwhile, philosophy is about trying to ask questions and trying to answer those questions that not always have an objective or observable truth. Heck, usually you won't even get a definite answer. While science is about answering, or how do you live? Or you need oxygen, you need carbohydrate for energy, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. While philosophy tries to answer why do you live? Is living life about being virtuous? Well, virtuous for what? For the sake of the others, or perhaps for God? Well, in that case, does God even exist? Well, what is even a God? Well, those barrage of questions that I just asked is a good example of philosophy, but in fact, those questions are belonging to one of the three categories of philosophy. They belong to a subcategory called metaphysics, where we're just trying to answer the why of, well, everything and anything. Meanwhile, you have epistemology, where it's go even more further beyond. It's trying to understand, how do I even know I'm right about why of things? For example, I know 1 plus 1 is right, but what makes it right? Is my human brain telling me it's right, so it's right? Heck, is there even something as truth? Then finally, we have ethics. Well, this is more about doing rather than thinking. So if you're like, wow, you think so much for what? No use what? Then you will like ethics. Basically, it's about what you should do out of all these questions. What am I supposed to do? What are the things that are morally just? Is there something as morally just? Should I do things for personal gain, or should I do things for the society, for the greater good? Now, finally, it's important to realize that all these questions that I just mentioned as example has no one real answer. When you ask what is the meaning of life, you will get a gazillion answer. So, if you remember from my meaning analysis video, meaning is entirely subjective, and so is philosophy. There's no one with the real truth, in my opinion. Well, then what's the point of philosophy? Well, it's more about asking questions to help you understand yourself better. It's not about you must follow my philosophy because it's right. It's about sharing each other's subjective thoughts and accepting different worldviews from each other. In that way, you're able to evaluate your own worldview based on the others. Remember, philosophy is not about answering your question. Philosophy is about helping you to find your own answer.